the Silver Grove. In all the operators' missions on Earth, orders have not scanned an area quite so magical.
Ah, here we go.
A flower that thrives on moonlight, but alas, without any moon, we feared went extinct long ago. We've searched everywhere on Earth for it. Where else would it go?
Why not on the moon that just came back from orbit? Anyway, how's she going, my son? And welcome back to Warframe, the Silver Grove. Now, I would like to point out that that lady's idea of purity is bunk, because mankind has been genetically engineering plants for even before we even understood that that's how it worked. You know, seed-controlled controlled plant breeding. Like the idea, you know the fact that carrots are orange? No, they're supposed to be purple. People made them orange through genetic engineering, otherwise known as selective breeding, to appease the Duke of Orange in the Netherlands. Right. And when people think of genetically modified plants and foodstuffs in this day and age, a lot of people think of a man in a lab with a needle cackling like, "Mwahaha! Mutant tomato!" That's not how it is, man. Genetic engineering on food, for the most part, is selective breeding. So, unless you find a patch of Earth that has literally not been touched by humankind, admittedly what she is kind of referring to with the Silver Grove, you're not going to find pure anything anymore. Because mankind has been tinkering with it too much. Anyway, okay, so the lunar pitcher we're probably going to find on the moon. Rurik's Claw, I am not so sure, but we got the Jade Leaf between episodes, so that's good. So let's go to the moon. Although if we're going to the moon, I'm going to get a different frame, because I am going to get a different frame because I'm going to be ready for a very specific problem on the moon, and that's the sentience. But more importantly, I want to loot them. I want to double loot them because they drop good shit. Just check those alerts. I thought I saw something good. Nope, just some endo. No. Okay, so. Okay, it's not gonna portal me there. So we go to Lua, Earth's moon, and we go to Plato. The Crossfire Exterminate mission, aka the giant clusterfuck. Because you've got Grenier fighting Corpus, you've got us there, and then you get the sentience showing up if you get caught, which I always purposely do when I'm doing this trick, because I like to steal their stuff and then kill them and get more stuff. Can't see where a plant would grow on the moon, though, is the thing. Unless it's, like, in a pot somewhere? Like, in the, actual, Orican, like, housing area of the level? Because, like, right now we're outside on what is effectively the moon's surface. Although, I guess there's some kind of atmosphere, because I'm not suffering from oxygen deprivation damage like you do in, like, some of the infested ship levels where, like, you start on a breach in the ship and then you move into the ship into the proper pressurized areas. Right in the butt. You know what? Fucked a lot of you. Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
Sentient scouts. If they detect you, fighters will soon attack.
I wonder if this will count. Yep. Excellent.
They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters.
Trying to get into a room with a bit more room. And, okay, so. Ivara can pickpocket things. So she gets to pickpocket them. And she has one of the best weapons against them. The Artemis bow.
Sentient fighters can adapt to your attacks.
Assimilate this.
Nothing else.
I got a neuroed out of the deal, at least. Freaking paddle arms. Alright, so... put the sentience out of the way. Is that where his core dropped? Yes, it is. Oh, no, that's where his body ended up. Okay. So, finding these plants is now our objective du jour. Let's take off the Artemis bow. What's my other weapon? It's in the scanner. Oh, yeah, the Hadouken gauntlets. Because, you know. Or the Kamehameha gauntlets, whatever your preferred method of hand fireball is. I was always partial to Hadoukens, personally. A lot more practical. Anyway, let's chip our way through the level and see if we find any particular houseplants. Because I'm pretty sure... Aha! Lunar Pitcher. Got it in one. How many did I need, though? I need, like, 3? So at least we know where to look. They're in the, like, little secluded under-the-ground tunnels exposed from the damage. Yep, hang on. Ivara, not good in a straight-up fight. She is a thief. She strikes from ambush and from range. And also strikes at your wallet. Okay. Stay in prowl for now is probably a better idea. Boop. Oh, like I was mentioning in the previous couple episodes, Loki arguably has the best invisibility because it has like no strings attached whatsoever. Ivara's, however, is still very good, but it has strings attached. As you can see, I cannot run. If I start running, my stealth will break. If I fire a weapon that has a sound, like for example, I break out of it momentarily. And if I kept firing it, I would stay broken out of it until I stopped making sound again. I can't bullet jump. I can double jump, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can double jump. I can't slide. And I can't bullet jump. So, there's a lot of things I can't do in this stance. But in exchange, I get to loot people. I get to be hidden for a very long time. Because it's only an energy drain move instead of a set duration. So I can just sit in this state of invisibility almost as long as I want. Barring running out of energy. Which, you know, it can happen, but not too hard to maintain. Particularly because I'm looting people and possibly getting more energy than I should. You know, like, that's the idea. She runs around maintaining herself off the pockets of her enemies and then murders them when they don't even know she's there. Always a bit of a shame, though, being an invisibility frame in this, because, like, you don't get to see your frame. Your frame's invisible, even to you. So, like, you don't get to see your frame. You don't get to see your cool cosmetics or anything. You just see this invisible blob shooting things. Oh yeah, I never finished my thought. I actually never finished my thought in one of the previous episodes that I was talking about with Loki. Where, might be one in the pictures? No? Damn. Where I was talking about Loki and I was running around doing stealth runs. And if I did, I apologize if I'm repeating myself. I have a pretty bad short-term memory sometimes. Yeah, I was talking about Loki, I was talking about doing stealth runs, and I was talking about how it must be fucking horrifying to be the bastard getting stealth killed by a invisible Loki. Or any of the frames that can be invisible. Because, like, well, for starters with Ivara, an arrow just went into your head. I mean, you'll be dead, but your friend next to you is like, what the hell did that come from? They have no idea, right? You know, it's like, it's the same thing that happens if someone gets sniped in town square or something. Right? Or wherever you consider your, like, big public location. It's just all of a sudden, it's like if someone got sniped in downtown St. John's while I'm at the card shop I'm at down there, I'd be like, holy shit, what the hell happened? You know, it's like, everyone would hit the dirt, everything would be a mass panic, right? Whereas with, but of course, particularly the weapon I was using on Loki at the time, the stealth animation is you shove the whole damn thing through their midsection via their spine. So, like, for one thing, you'd be paralyzed. Even if you were still alive after that. If you didn't just go into shock and die. And then you would not see what did it to you. You would look down, see a hole in your, like, torso, feel the pain of the admittedly pretty ribbed weapon I was using at the time, and have no idea what the hell is killing you. And then you would probably go into shock and die. And it would be the most terrifying thing you will ever experience, because, well, it would be the last thing you ever experienced. But, like, there's nothing I can think of that could compare to that you could experience and survive through, because, well, for one thing, you survive through it. I got a mentality of anything I can survive, you know, I'm not as scared of anymore. Particularly why horror games that try to be scary but then give you a gun don't really scare me, other than the initial, oh shit, suddenly zombie factor, like the jump scare factor. Because it's like, well, yeah, it's an enemy, it got the jump on me, but I can shoot it in the face. Now, admittedly, they can give you tension in a game like that, like the classic Resident Evils. Ah, so they are in the picture. They are also in the pictures. Excellent. Like the classic Resident Evils did, because they restricted your resources. I mean, you got over that hump eventually where you had a lot of stuff, but then you were also fighting a lot bigger enemies at the time. Like, you were running into more bosses, you were running into, like, the... what were they called? The toad enemies that could decapitate you with the jumping slash. I think they were just called hunters? Might have been it. But yeah, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. The frog enemies. They showed up after a certain point in the game, in the first one, or in the remake of the first one. I don't know if they were in the actual very first one. And, you know, they were significantly harder than zombies. They put the fear of God back into you. Because, like, at that point, you're probably like, nah, zombies are no big deal. I got a shotgun. I got a grenade launcher if I'm Jill. I got, you know, more than enough pistol ammo to burn on them. I'm fine. And then all of a sudden you run into the hunters and you're like, oh, fuck, I can't just burn these things down with continuous fire because they get in my face too fast. And where the fuck is the map telling me to go? Lotus, stop fucking with the map. I know it's funny, but it's getting in the way of us completing the mission. But yeah, like, it's hard to be afraid of something that is surmountable. Now, would I still be afraid of a T-Rex, even though it's a mortal creature that could die? Yeah, because it doesn't go down easy. Unless I literally had the magical gun that instantly kills any T-Rex you shoot at it with, I would still be scared of the T-Rex. But, like, would I be as, like, horrified of it as something that I can shoot and reduce to paste, and then it gets back up and keeps coming at me? No, I would be fucking terrified of that thing. And it would terrify me more than the theoretical T-Rex, because, like, you know, the T-Rex is a mortal being. It can eventually die. It just takes a while. You know, if it bleeds, you can kill it. But, you know, well, going back to the Resident Evil example, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the last one they did on the PlayStation era of consoles, one of my favorite games, Nemesis himself, you know, you could drop him every single time you ran into him, and then he'd come back a couple scenes later and still be hunting you. There's no way to stop him. You know, barring the actual end of the game where he's the final boss, and then you know, get the rail cannon. You know, you have a rail cannon that's, like, is too big to move, and is a humongous damage, like, blaster to kill him. Although even that doesn't technically kill him. It just cripples the bejesus out of him, and then the nuke that nukes Raccoon City finishes him off. But, yeah. Or Jill unloading into him with the Magnum if you choose that option, because that's kind of cool. But, yeah, like, that's more terrifying to me than, like, just zombie jumping out of a corridor at me. Or just zombies in general. Like, a defeatable enemy. Because, you know, a zombie is a defeatable enemy. They have a clearly defined weakness most of the time. You know, blow up the head, destroy the brain, you know, destroy their motor function, decapitate them, fire, some settings. You know, some settings it's not so good. Some settings it's, like, the best thing for it. But, like, okay, bringing it back to Warframe a bit more. The Infested. Is it terrifying to think of being assimilated into a mass of unfeeling, forever hungry, like, parasites? Yes. That is a terrifying thought. And that's probably one of the worst ways to go. And it is a mercy to kill people that have been infected by the infestation. Are they terrifying in the sense that they're this endless threat that I can never get rid of? I mean, kind of, just because... But the thing is, it's an MMO, you know... Warframe is an MMO, and it's a game where enemies respawn, so that kind of doesn't count. But, like, even in the fluff, are they, like, this thing we have to run from at every opportunity? No. If anything, the Tenno were... one of the reasons the Tenno were designed was also to deal with the infested. And they're damn good at it. they're still a threat because, you know, they have, like, the ancient synergies and stuff, and, you know, the Juggernaut, who's just this big, gnarly thing with armored plates everywhere that's really hard to punch through. But, like, but they can die. Again, if it bleeds, you can kill it. Even if it bleeds, like, orange. Or whatever color the infested bleed. I think it's orange. Also, I am way the hell of the thick in the middle of melee here. What the hell am I doing? I am so not playing Ivara right now. Ah, God damn it. There we go. Right in the butt. I could just use the Artemis bow at this point, but I kind of want to get the focus points for using my dread, because I have the lens on my dread. It was the first one I used. I kind of regret doing that, to be honest. I should have put it on Excalibur, because using it on Excalibur would have been made more sense at the time, because I was using them pretty heavily. And hey, 15 endo. And you know, he's my starter frame. He's the one I've used the most. He's my most used one in according to my stats still, I'm pretty damn sure. Show profile. Post used equipment. Yeah. It's becoming a smaller margin because I've used like every frame in the game now to some degree. But like, you know, he still has 15% of my total playtime and total, I guess it's experience gained and kills done. Like, I have, you know, he has 15% of that huge number. Right? Ember has a bunch, because I like using World on Fire and just running through levels. Inaros is the second place. That doesn't surprise me, because when I got him, I used him almost exclusively for, like, I want to say, like, a solid month before I haven't used Nova much, because I've actually been using traditional Nova, leveling with a buddy of mine, when he's playing on his new account, so I literally don't touch it unless I'm playing it. That's why I have Nova and Nova Prime in my inventory at the same time right now, even though I really only need Nova Prime, because, you know, I want to have the Loki one to play with my buddy. Yeah, and, like, most of the other frames I've used, like, 1% of the time. Zephyr and Wukong, I literally leveled and didn't play with them anymore. I was disappointed in Wukong. I gotta admit. I was disappointed in Wukong because he was one of the frames that needed Nightane at first. And it was one of the first sticking points with the communities. Like, you need this resort, this special alertnium, as people have been calling it, resource that you can't farm in the traditional ways, or the ways you can farm it outside of the alerts are stupidly low-level, stupidly low-end drops, so it's like, why bother? It's a waste of your time. So it makes people, like, a little bitter. Are they, like, people are thinking, are they forcing us to buy Platinum so we can get this frame without doing the grind that they've made ridiculous? Not really. But I found he wasn't worth it. To me. Now, there's a streamer I watch, Devil Azite. He usually does Nuclear Throne. But, listen to me name dropping. But he, you know, he plays Warframe too. And, I catch him Warframe streaming sometimes. And he is building towards Wukong, and he's really looking forward to it. And you know what? More power to him. I didn't like Wukong. His one ability is kind of weak. His 2, I believe, is the one... Yeah, his 2 is the one that's basically turn this ability on, and the next time you die, you don't die, and heal a bunch of health. But it's a constant energy drain, and it heals for less health each time it saves you from dying. Until you reset it, which leaves you vulnerable. You know, so they got that problem. His 3 was admittedly something I really liked. That was one ability from Wukong I genuinely liked, and I kind of wish I could port it over onto another Warframe I like more. And that's Cloudwalker. He goes invisible, and he can move in 3 directions. He can move in 3 directions. Like, he can go straight up, as if he was a ghost or something. Which I think is fucking amazingly hilarious. That's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to Titania, too, because her alt ability is Shrink. I think it's still called Shrink. It might have been called something else now. But, basic idea is that she turns tiny, like an actual fairy, and she works with Arcwing controls, or the old Arcwing controls. So, like, she can't go upside down, but, like, she can still fly around as if she was like swimming, like, you know, like typical MMO swimming controls. And then she gets a special set of pistols and a special knife that go with her built-in arc wing. You know, like her wings, basically, as a pixie. But she's, like, super tiny, and, like, to give you an idea... Okay, well, he's not facing the right way. But, like, the size of a Grineer's head is, like, the size of Titania. Like, she could sit on one of their shoulders and they wouldn't notice. Because she's so tiny. And she gets to fly around and fight with these crazy cool weapons, and, you know, like, it looks like fun. And just the three-dimensional movement is cool, too, because, like, with Cloudwalker, with Wukong, you can get to places even bullet jumping can't get you to. You know? Which is cool. I love that I love mobility in games. It's one of the reasons why I've stuck with Warframe as long as I have, is the fact that, you know, even before Parkour 2.0, you were very mobile in this game. Admittedly, you're more mobile now, but, like, you never, like, it always feels like you've got this great mobility in the game, and you feel very nimble, because as flexible as I am in real life, because I took Taekwondo when I was a kid, I am not very nimble. I am a large man. I am 6'2", possibly 6'3", I haven't checked in a while. I mean, I'm obviously well past the point of growing, but, I mean, hey, maybe something happened. Maybe I don't know, bit of bone growth or whatever, from the damage I've taken breaking them a few times. But anyway, but yeah, I am not nimble. I have good manual dexterity, because obviously I'm a gamer. It kind of comes with the territory. But I am not nimble. I am not agile. I can't parkour. I mean, obviously real parkour is pretty damn hard, but, like, I can't even kind of do, like, rudimentary parkour. Like, like, if someone would jump over a fence or something, I'd probably, like, walk over it, or, like, just kind of, like, stretch my way over it. Like, try to, like, kind of like mounting a horse, only your feet are still on the ground on either side, if that kind of image. You know, I'd be doing something like that instead of, like, actually jumping the fence. Or I'd look for the gate. Because I'm not that nimble. So I love being that nimble in Warframe. With any of the frames. Even the bigger, slower ones that I would probably be more accurately related to than, like, little Ivara here, for example. You know, like, the fact that all of them are that nimble. The only difference in speed is just the fact that some of them run faster. Or some of them have powers that literally make them go faster. But, yeah, like, I love that kind of mobility. It's one of the reasons why I keep playing this game. And so having the Warframes with the additional mobility powers, like Zephyr having the ability to basically triple jump, because she has the move that lets her do the dash in midair. Plus, she has low gravity, so, you know, her jumps mean more. Wukong's Cloudwalker, like I'm talking about. Switch Teleport is amazing. I find any game that lets you teleport is usually pretty good. Huh. That is really weird lighting. That looks like it's glitched. Oh well. Not the kind of thing I give a whole lot of rat's ass about, but, you know. It caught my eye. Okay, so we got the lunar pitcher.
Complete. Excellent work, Ten.
Now I gotta figure out where the fuck the Rook's claws are. Anyway, since some of the episodes in this series have been a little long, if this one's a little short, I apologize, but I'd like to... excuse me, episodic it up a bit and cut it off here. So, thank you all so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description as usual.
Earth's oldest forest is populated with the first trees that evolved in resistance to the Orokin bondage. The rest of Earth is polluted with the monstrosities of their genetic tinkering. But these trees are pure. When we finally reseed Earth, it will be with these specimens.
The silver globe. In all the operators' missions on Earth,
Ortis!
Ordis has not
Shush!
scanned the area quite so
Where's your mute button?
unique.
Ugh, anyway.
Ruck's Claw. We had one of these plants in our greenhouse once, but a new recruit overwatered it. We haven't found any since.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description as usual. Red text. Thank you so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description as usual. Please subscribe. I would love to see this channel grow, and I would like to get back on the more routine track of updating this channel as well. Having something like Warframe new patch motivating me to do it definitely helps. But, you know, I'll get back to the other games as well that I've been playing. I know I've been asked about the Binding of Undertale a lot recently with a couple of viewers, and I would like to play that game, though, just as that game again, though, just as a change of pace, because twin-stick shooter is pretty different from however you describe Warframe, because it's got a lot of monikers at this point. Do engage in the Twitter. It's a lot easier to get my attention, or, well, yeah, it is a bit easier to get my attention with the Twitter, because I'm always checking it, but it's also better to get updates on my content, because whenever I post, it automatically goes, hey, I posted such and such video on YouTube. Go watch and enjoy. I mean, it doesn't actually say that, but you get the gist of it. And the Tumblr is just if you like me and you want more of me. And if you were curious, I was playing with two halves of a broken twist tie chummy. Well, not twist tie, but a clip. I play with junk a lot. I play with junk a lot. But yeah, anyway. Warframe, the Silver Grove, the hunt for more plants. Thank you all so much for watching, and ciao for now. There we go. Right in the butt.